what are the possibilities? These terrorist organizations are there in Afghanistan. There was a Doha agreement, and the Doha agreement never matured, right? And the Afghan government, the sitting Afghan government, never abided that agreement. And now these terrorists are over there. The soil, Afghan soil, is being used by the terrorists, which is a violation of the Doha agreement. Now, is there a possibility, if these terrorist groups and these terrorists who are on the soil of Afghanistan, is there a possibility that the Russian forces can go in for strikes in Afghanistan on these terrorist camps?
Of course, there is always a possibility of some extreme development of the situation. But Russia is actively monitoring this situation. And we should not forget that Afghanistan is in a great need of economic development. Afghanistan is included in the trade corridor, which is called North and South. And by the way, Pakistan is quite an active member because Pakistan and Afghanistan are also sharing the same economic trade corridor. So there have been made already investments in this economic vessel, let's say. That's why Afghanistan is cradling a dilemma between economic survival and nourishing terrorism. But we all understand that there is a third party which is interested to keep Afghanistan as a fruitful soil for terrorism and extremism because there is a big game, geopolitical big game, and part of this big game is to actually control Central Asia. That's why we might say that it's a great proxy game, which is taking place on the territory of Afghanistan. That's why how this dilemma will be resolved, we have to watch out in the nearest future.
Very rightly, you pointed out that there is a big game, and the big game is that who is going to control and how the Central Asian economic boost, which is around the corner, can be sabotaged in the days to come. But at the very same time, there is a lot of investment in Afghanistan when it comes to China, and Iranian stakes are also there in Afghanistan, and to some extent, Russian stakes are also there in Afghanistan. So when all the stakes are over there, but as of now, we are the only people, Pakistan is the only country which is fighting against terrorism and against these terrorist groups which are on the soil of Afghanistan. So is there going to be a collective effort to get rid of these people over there, these terrorist camps over there, terrorist organizations from there?
I can see a positive in this direction.
Okay.
What does it mean? It means that Russia has exposed its diplomatic will more than 1 year ago and came out with a proposal towards Pakistan to join the Collective Security Treaty Organization. So in order to spread the possibilities, to enhance the possibilities of the collective system of combating terrorism, drug trafficking, and other security issues. Moreover, it's really important that Russia has stretched its hand and offered to Islamabad to enhance much active intelligence exchange networks between Moscow. I think it's really important to mention because Pakistan, Islamabad can see a lot of benefits in this direction if actually Pakistan will start collaborate and increase the opportunities for joint military exercises and counterintelligence units between the member states of the Collective Security Treaty Organization and Pakistan. I think it will give additional incentive in order to actually increase the collective counterterrorism forces against the terrorist groups in Afghanistan.
Okay. So as of now, what I understand, if I'm wrong, please correct me, Doc. As of now, you guys, like Russia, are monitoring the situation and they are keeping a close eye on these terrorist organizations in Afghanistan and the groups over there, right? And the terrorist people over there. But there are possibilities of striking those groups or those terrorist organizations on the soil of Afghanistan is there. And at the very same time, there's a collective effort being tossed around these members of the treaty group that they can jointly get rid of these terrorist organizations. Am I right? If I'm wrong, please correct
Yes,
me.
correctly. And I assume that Russia, while developing a new strategic plan, action plan for this organization for the next 4 years as a chairman, will definitely include the possibility to open the gates, to open the doors to other members or the other countries who would be willing to join this collective security treaty organization. I think it's quite important message towards Islamabad, because otherwise Pakistan will be experiencing quite hard times, being completely alone in all its efforts to combat terrorism on the border with Afghanistan.
That's exactly my point. So, one more thing. We know we have evidences, and obviously the Russian intelligence must be having this intel also, that India is financially helping out the present Afghan government, the present Afghan interim government, let me put it this way. So they are financially helping them, they are financially helping these terrorist organizations, and they're all out to push the proxy into the territories of Pakistan. And India is playing that role, as I said. So if this is open secret to everyone, so what is Russia going to do in the days to come when it comes to ties with India?
Thank you for this question, because somehow it opens, as you correctly mentioned, open secret, Pandora's box, It's related to the forgotten art of being rational, considering the geopolitical games. The actions of the third party have become so evident for the Russian side. I mean that India is absolutely overplayed by the United States. It's a clear evidence in being used as a proxy pocket in order to control the situation in Afghanistan. So it's indeed an open secret, and the Russian intelligence services are aware of it. And I think we can see the confirmation of this awareness by the fact that Moscow and Islamabad started to move towards each other strategic vision much more rapid than we have been just observing that motion in the past years. Now, I can see counterbalancing, let's say, resolution of that situation. So the more India is moving towards the US interest in Afghanistan, the more Moscow and Islamabad are moving closer to each other.
So, okay, but then again, how is Russia going to treat India in the days to come?
As India continues to proceed with its double sense or double message silent mode, the same Russia is going to act actually in a symmetric way.
Okay, got your point.